Chico, Liz, and...
Me. I'm Brian. Hi.
Hi. We decided that we're going to make a video together talking about the Game Awards. That is very weird.
Well, more the announcements of the Game Award nominees. That if you've been on social media or Twitter in the last, 8-9 hours, it's been kind of it's been a bit foobar, to say at least. So, yeah, we're going to talk about, we're not going to talk about...
What's a foobar?
Effed up beyond all recognition.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah, so...
It's definitely very confusing. But before we get into that, I think we're just going to go through, have a look, what's nominated and what we think. Not every single category, because I don't think they're all important.
No, definitely not.
They a lot of them kind of seem really repeated.
Yeah, and no offense, I don't care about any esports teams or coaches or players or
content creators.
We don't really care.
That's not important to us.
It's the Video Game Awards, so we're here to talk about the actual video games.
Okay, let's go down to the bottom. We'll start on the very bottom.
Esports event, don't care. Esports coach, nope. Esports game, nope.
No.
Most anticipated
We can start there.
Which, let's start with the fact that this is a stupid category. I'm going to be honest. It's a stupid category. You're going to get an award for a game that hasn't even come out yet because it's anticipated, and you can't sit here and tell me that that's not subjective. Because, there has to be. They mentioned it. It has to be a game that's already been announced.
You can't say one thing. What about Black Myth Wukong? That's the most anticipated thing in the world at the moment. What?
Grand Theft Auto.
Okay. That's fine, this is what we've already seen.
Yeah, but just because
we're expecting it.
Yeah, but just because there's no trailer, you can't. We all know that the most anticipated game in our foreseeable future is Grand Theft Auto.
All right, so bye.
Best adaptation. This is actually going to be a good one, because you're gonna have right here. This is, for if you don't know, it obviously says that it's recognizing outstanding creative work recognizing outstanding creative work that faithfully and authentically adapts a video game to another entertainment medium. Basically, take a video game, put it towards movie or TV or whatever you want. I like how Twisted Metal snuckily just kind of snuck in there because there's really not much else. But
they need some shine.
Yeah. We haven't seen a Mario movie yet, which...
No, we have not seen a Mario movie.
And Twisted Metal?
Not interested.
Okay, fair enough. I played Twisted Metal when I was a kid.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. But let's be honest. We know what my heart, like I said, yet again.
I'm going to say it's going to go to Mario because it was very successful. I've not seen it, but I do believe in it. And what I've seen, it's gorgeous. And the fact that Mario Wonder is even nominated, I feel like Nintendo's got their fingers in the pie. So I won't be surprised if it goes to Super Mario. But I think Last of Us very much deserves it. And again, the sales went up by 100%. Yeah, something crazy like that. That says something. That's a power in itself. So I think voting out of those two, Gran Turismo was great, but I feel look, put it this way: in Orlando, we're getting a
Mario World.
We're getting a Mario World. Okay, so if that's not going to win, it's kind of odd to me personally. And Last of Us only had 2 days of shine at Halloween Horror Nights, so I feel like the impact of Mario is way bigger than Last of Us. But I would not be mad. She's
saying that Super Mario probably should have it. I know for a fact that I want Gran Turismo to win it, but we also know that it's going to go to Last of Us. But I'm not mad at it because it's a phenomenal show. I'm
still sticking to Mario.
Okay. Like I said, head versus heart on that one.
Let's go. Multiplayer.
Interesting one. Actually, it is an interesting one. This should load up in a second. Best multiplayer. Now, here's the thing about multiplayer.
Don't waste your time.
No. Actually, I can, because
don't waste your
when
time.
I sit here and look at these games, when I look at Baldur's Gate, I don't think about multiplayer. What's it actually say? What's it read at top? So,
for outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective of game genre or platform.
So if we're talking MMOs,
Bold is.
If we're talking MMOs,
Bold is.
I'm gonna say Diablo.
Bold is.
I'm gonna say Diablo.
Bold is.
Personal pick, Street Fighter 6.
Logical pick, Baldur's Gate.
And I'm gonna say logical pick, Diablo.
Okay.
We'll come back and visit this. Yep, click it.
Alright, you can have this.
Yes, I will.
You can have all of this.
Yep, I will. All right, this is my category.
Okay.
Best sports and racing, which I think, I first I was kind of PO'd about how they merged them, but now that I really think about it, there really hasn't been a lot of sports games and racing games. Like, so I can see why they combined it. You know, you'll see notable things that are missing. Like, there's no Madden, there's no 2K, thank God. You mean, so your typical sports game, I mean, it's obviously driving dominates this category. If we're talking about driving game, because I've played all of these.
I know you. I think you're gonna say The Crew.
The most fun I've had in a driving game, like we're just fun, is the Crew Motorfest. Hot Wheels is really, really good. F1 is basically your Madden or your 2K of the Formula One world. So it's the most realistic driving experience. Forza Motorsport, there's just great track racing, great car selection. Hot Wheels is just fun. The Crew combines all of that, because where else can you race a car that's inspired from Hot Wheels against a Formula One car against a racing car?
Okay.
So
That's
Crew gets mine.
I'm okay.
Best friendly.
Okay.
Best fighting game. Now this is where we're gonna argue.
I'm good.
No, this is where we're gonna argue. I mean, let's be honest. Well, credit to where credit's due. Everybody, congratulations to everyone that got nominated. There's only 2 nominations that really matter. It's Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter.
That's all it is.
It's the same fight that's been going on for the last 30.
All-Star Brawl only came out like what? Very recently? I don't understand. That doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, yes, it's definitely between Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter 6.
This has been a battle that's been going around since the early 90s. I played the original Street Fighter and the original Mortal Kombat when they came out. Mortal Kombat was a cross. The fact that now in 2023, we're still trying to figure out who made the best fighting game between Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter, and both of them were phenomenal. Both of them are absolutely phenomenal. I still don't know what I'm going to pick. Hit me. What you got?
So it's a little bit tricky for me because I'm Mortal Kombat, obviously, crazy person.
I was gonna grab it, but no.
No.
I mean, obviously, the Mortal Kombat stuff all back here.
It's not even that, but I must say that my respect for Street Fighter has definitely gone up. I feel like Street Fighter is more innovative in a lot of ways as a fighting game, but the only thing is just because it was great while it lasted, and it didn't last very long. And that's maybe because of the way that the character stories, how like when you start off as Luke, I was just like, okay, he's just a cool character. There was no connection for me in any way or motivation, but the fact that I respected how different and how unique it was delivered, right? And I was just admiring it, but I've never really felt an attachment to it. Whereas I go way back with Mortal Kombat. I've been there since as long as I can remember, and the story mode was phenomenal. Graphically, it's more impressive. I don't really care for the cell shaded stuff, like it's really funky, but I like realism more. I'm just like that. So I feel like character wise, is it weird if I feel like I'm gonna say 50-50? I'm gonna say 50-50, like I can't decide, and may the best man win is how I'd like to just leave this.
I'm gonna, this definitive decision, and you'll understand what I mean. Mortal Kombat 1 is the best Mortal Kombat game that I've played. Street Fighter 6 is one of the best fighting games I've ever played. And that's why Street Fighter 6 specifically gets my vote.
May the best man win. Where are we? RPG?
Oh, this is... No. Okay. Before we even continue, this is where it's going to get a bit confusing. And we're not going to get demonetized, so we're not going to curse. This is where...
Can I do this?
No. Best RPG for the best game design with rich player customization and progression, including massively multiplayer experiences. Final Fantasy and Lies of P do not need to be in this category.
It doesn't make sense.
Just because a game has a skill tree doesn't mean it's an RPG. My direct argument to this, I love the Crew Motorfest. That has a skill tree. Is it an RPG? No. If I had to pick the game that best describes what it's describing in the description, it would have to be Baldur's Gate. Starfield is not online. Starfield does have character customization. It does have some cool things.
It's not online?
Starfield is not an online game. Baldur's Gate is an online game.
Are you sure?
Absolutely positive. 100%. Starfield is not an online game. So
I was under the impression that it was.
No, it's not. Nothing but respect for Baldur's Gate 3. For a game to come out of nowhere, and what Larian Studios has done and what they have created is just...
I haven't played it, but I know its impact.
Exactly. So,
and I can't believe Starfield's not online. How does that even make sense?
Nope. Neither is Final Fantasy, neither is Lies of P. So there you go. Three games that really.
That is kind of strange, though.
Yeah, I would give, and yet again, this is why the categories, because our next category, or one of the next categories, is going to be Best Action Adventure.
Let's see what's
Starfield
in there,
fits more than and more the action adventure game, because it is an action adventure game. Alan Wake 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Jedi Survivor, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Marvel Spider-Man 2 should not be in this category based off of this description. There is no puzzles. It does have traversal, your web swing. It's not innovative or anything like that because we've already done it before. I just want to point out one little concept. The only thing that they added in Spider-Man for traversal, they made the city slightly bigger and they gave you a websuit. Starfield, you can build an entire ship, fully customizable.
I'm gonna say Legend of Zelda.
For best action
puzzle, action adventure, out of all them, I think they've got the higher power.
I'm going to. Yeah, I guess I would have to say Zelda.
I know.
Yeah, I'd give it to Zelda.
Action. Dead Island. Why?
Why? No shade on Dead Island. No shade on Dan Buster Studios. Why is Dead Island 2 in this category? Why is there no Why is Final Fantasy not in this category? Action game? For the best game in the action genre, focused primarily on combat. The best combat game this year is Final Fantasy 16.
By looking at this, I am hoping it's Armored Core. I am hoping. Because a lot of work went into that.
A lot of work did go into it.
Okay, so you're sticking with Hi-Fi.
I'm sticking with Hi-Fi Rush, yeah. I'm sticking with Hi-Fi Rush.
Sure.
Yep. Best VR AR game? Gran Turismo. No need to look.
Let me see.
Yep, Gran Turismo. Yeah, Gran Turismo. Because I think
I'll say Gran Turismo. I would never play it personally. Ever since I've played Gran Turismo in like the cockpit with the pedal and the steering wheel, I feel like I would never play a racing game if it's not VR.
Best mobile game, Monster Hunter. No,
it's not important. I don't play them.
And I don't care about indie. Best community support. We can check that out. Recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, responsiveness,
Cyberpunk,
inclusive social media activity, game updates and patches. Cyberpunk. End of story. And let's be honest, if Cyberpunk 2.0 as a full game launched this year, we'd be having a completely different conversation about the game of the year.
And I'm gonna say this, and I've never really said it on the internet, but I believe CD Projekt Red as a whole are way ahead of their time. Glitches from them, for some reason, don't really bother me because I can see how advanced they are in everything that they've done so far, especially with The Witcher. Glitchy as shit, my horse was flying in the sky, but I was just like, yo, like, this game is so mesmerizing, and this game is so, like, next level, never experienced type stuff. It was just like, I get it. Like, I get it. This game is so big, I respect this. You know?
Yeah.
So that's how I believe Cyberpunk should get this.
Yeah, I do think Cyberpunk should get this.
Where are we?
Innovation and games for impact, don't care. Innovation, accessibility, that's Forza, because they made a game where a blind person can race a car. Nobody else can even come close. That's just it. Best performance. Ooh, one of my favorite categories. Yes. Now, awarded to an individual for voiceover acting, motion, and or performance capture. Now, what are we thinking? Ben Starr, if you ever see this video, we heart you. Cameron Monaghan, I mean, he's the face of Cal Kestis. That's what it is.
I like him.
Idris, you also know how I feel about Idris Elba.
Sure.
I've been watching you play
Alan
Wake, and the performance is pretty solid. Nothing really stands out to me though. Neil Newborn, I mean, apparently he's a side character. He's not even a main character.
And then Yuri
Lowenthal.
Lowenthal.
Yuri Lowenthal. I mean, give Yuri Lowenthal the credit where it deserves. He's the voice of Spider-Man, but at the same time, it's not really that. It's not like he's completely pulling a character out of
It's Ben Starr. It's Ben Starr. Because he was consistent through and through.
100%.
And it was a very emotional, intense game.
Very emotional.
So, Ben Starr.
Yep.
Okay. Audio. Well, yeah. I like audio. I notice audio is something that I really appreciate.
You know where mine goes.
Hi-Fi Rush.
Hi-Fi Rush is an audio game. It's a rhythm-based combat game where audio is so important, and the fact that the audio not just translates to what you hear, but it also translates to what you see, like in every aspect of the game.
I'd give it to Dead Space. It was actually the first game in a while since Hellblade that made me paranoid just by sounds and screams and enemies, and when lights flicker, I felt like there was a lot of detail, and I hated the sound. I can recall always complaining about the sound. It's freaky. I don't know where it's coming from. I hate it, and it's very well done. So for me, it's
Dead Space.
It's Dead Space.
Alan Wake, composer. I mean, it's Final Fantasy. I mean, it's Final Fantasy for me. Hell, the fact that Final Fantasy Orchestra, the music and the sound in Final Fantasy, from the highs and the lows, and from the epic boss fights to the soundtrack that goes through them, and this, oh man, and like even the song that hits when you play, Hugo, Kupka, and that's why I'm gonna give it to Final Fantasy over Hi-Fi Rush, because even though Hi-Fi Rush is a solid team, when you play the game, it still uses licensed tracks, so it's not original.
And out of all the games, like if I was to listen to any of the music, I feel like for me the most recognizable would be Final Fantasy. But I wouldn't be surprised if Alan Wake gets it, because not only are the songs really cool to me, there's also a performance that goes with it as well in certain scenes of the game. So I really respect that. And the music was actually really, really catchy. Like I was just like, I'm digging it. I don't know, maybe because I'm really enjoying the game. But I wouldn't be surprised if Alan Wake 2 gets the prize, because there's a lot of entertaining songs in that. But yeah, Final Fantasy is what's memorable for me.
The way Link sounds when he swings the sword. Yeah. Oh no, my sword broke.
Best art direction.
This should be an interesting category. For me, Hi-Fi Rush. Alan Wake 2 is good. Lies of P, our Lies of P has great art, but we all know that it's just an evolution of Bloodborne, so it's not really original. Mario is Mario. Just because you turn into an elephant with the Wonder Flower doesn't make it great.
Alan Wake 2. There's real acting, and there's beautiful transitions, and very, very. I'm Alan Wake.
And
Alan Wake.
And Tears of the Kingdom is Breath of the Wild with a subterranean level, and you can build a car. Next.
Let's move on.
Best narrative? I like best narrative because best narrative means basically, in a sense, best story.
It's Final Fantasy.
For outstanding storytelling and narrative development in the game.
Final Fantasy, and Alan Wake. Like, honestly, I cannot express how impressed I am with Alan Wake.
I'm going to say Final Fantasy because Final Fantasy.
It was an emotional roller coaster.
Final Fantasy was an emotional investment.
And I was hooked. I'm going to say Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
But if Alan Wake 2 gets it, I understand as well.
The story for Alan Wake is pretty.
It's very good. It's very good.
But because I'm giving it to Final Fantasy because it just pulls on those emotional strings.
Yeah. I've got more memorable moments.
Hell, do you remember even when we played the demo and how the demo ended?
Oh my god.
Like the demo, Final Fantasy. Best game direction.
Is it the...
Let's read what it says.
Alan Wake.
Awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. Yeah, I'm going to give it to Alan Wake. I guess the key factor in this is that I word, innovation. I'm going to say that for the 5 games that are listed,
they're all copy paste.
Only one of them is innovative and original.
And that's Alan Wake.
And the big one.
No, this is the worst one.
It's the exact same as the last one, except they added another game. Literally. It's the exact same. They literally added another game. So we talked about the 3 games. We've already talked about the 5 games that were from the previous category, and now they just added another game and called the Game of the Year.
I know what's gonna win because of popularity's sake.
I'm gonna give it to Baldur's Gate. Simple fact.
I'm not giving it. I'm admitting it.
No, actually, I'm still gonna say Alan Wake.
Yes.
I want you to read the notes on the Game of the Year.
Recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. This is whack to me.
Yeah,
this is whack. Like I don't believe. I'm going to be really petty and say that I do not believe in the Game of the Year this year.
No, I don't.
I really don't. Like I genuinely do not care. I would be surprised and proud if it went to Alan Wake, but I would expect it to go to Baldur's Gate.
I mean, you have to think about something. I think that Game of the Year should also go to at least an original IP. Like, there isn't a game on this list that's not a sequel or a remake. Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4 remake. You understand that? Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers. It's a 2D scroller. It is what it is. They've been making them since 1987.
So none of it is actually original.
And Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which is a sequel to Breath of the Wild.
None of it's original.
There isn't a single original. There isn't a
the
single
only original game that actually came out this year was Hogwarts Legacy.
And Starfield.
Sure.
So now that we've talked about all the categories, at least the ones that, I feel like the most relevant categories, let's get to the elephant in the room. And, if you stuck around here now, this is I don't know how long. You stuck around, thank you. But let's talk about the elephant in the room, which is Hogwarts Legacy. If you just focus on the new IPs this year, it's one of the highest rated games of the year. There's a category that this game could have fit in. Like, the fact that the game wasn't even acknowledged and has 0 nominations. 0. I mean, you're telling me right now that 170 different outlets and media outlets, none of them said Hogwarts Legacy? Where's score and soundtrack? Best score and music right here.
Okay.
Hogwarts Legacy isn't even nominated for best score. Now, for those of you that don't know, 3 days ago, do you guys know that Hogwarts Legacy, their soundtrack is nominated for a Grammy in video game score?
You know what they're actually telling us? That game doesn't exist.
Yeah, according to the Game Awards, Hogwarts Legacy does not exist. That game never came out this year.
No. And you know the dumbest thing that I've been hearing on the internet from a lot of people, and they're like, "Oh, but people forgot about Hogwarts Legacy as soon as they finished it." Bro, we've been spoiled with video games. There has been consistent video games coming out one after another, and the hype has been real for each and every single one of them. Dude.
Yeah, because you moved on to the next thing. Anybody who says that, oh, well, the game came out and disappeared, like, the game is supposed to have DLC. Like, I'm sorry, half of the games on here don't have any DLC. Final Fantasy, no DLC. Spider-Man, no DLC. Your beloved Tears of the Kingdom, the tears have dried up. There is no DLC.
No, Tears of the Kingdom is the DLC.
What that studio did was bring a world to life in which it's super rare in today's day and age. They literally brought an entire
world. And did it flawlessly. Isn't it their first game?
Their last game was like a Disney racing game.
Okay, so basically it's their first big game.
Their first game like that, yes.
And what about all the hard work that went into that? What about the people that put their blood, sweat, and tears, and passion and love into this game? I understand that they don't want to be cancelled. People can get upset because it does have potential, and I feel like they did not want that. Something
that, you really want to think about is the fact that there are so many games that really deserve to be here this year. Yes, I'm going to say I'm going to say Hogwarts Legacy should be in this conversation. Yes.
What would Hogwarts Legacy replace?
Hogwarts Legacy should replace Resident. Actually, no. I'm going to say Hogwarts Legacy should replace Tears of the Kingdom, because there is nothing that Tears of the Kingdom does that Hogwarts Legacy doesn't. Like, Tears of the Kingdom has a phenomenal crafting system. You know what? I can go and completely customize a full-on room of requirement. So for me, and like I said, I give Alan Wake 2 because Alan Wake 2 is phenomenal, deserves to be here. Baldur's Gate, phenomenal, deserves to be here.
Sure.
Starfield should definitely be in this conversation. Starfield should be in this conversation.
Who's next?
I'd replace Resident Evil 4 with Cyberpunk Phantom Liberty.
Sure.
2.0 Phantom Liberty, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, what about?
Okay, that is going to go towards
Final Fantasy.
That's going to go to Final Fantasy 16, and then Zelda is going to get replaced with Hogwarts Legacy. That's my combination for Game of the Year. Can I also sit here and tell you something? The fact that now, ever since Jeff Keighley has taken over, there has never been a single Xbox game that has been nominated for Game of the Year.
Yeah.
So, and like I say, you can sit here and say that Xbox doesn't have... You can't sit here and tell me that they haven't put out at least one Game of the Year nomination. One?
Yeah. I don't know.
What about you? Would you feel about the same?
Yeah, I would stick with that. But again, like, no disrespect to Spider-Man, no disrespect to Resident Evil, and Nintendo games are just not my cup of tea, but, you know, good for you. There's only a handful of Nintendo games that I actually play. But, yeah, I feel like it's a really strange year. It kind of, like, shot my buzz a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. It kind of, like, demotivated me and de-escalated my excitement. But I will watch the show just to see cool new trailers of upcoming video games, hopefully an announcement of Elden Ring. Well, not the announcement, the reveal of the DLC and a date, please, God. And then I would be excited all over again. Yeah. Alright, you guys, we are done talking about the Game of the Year nominees. As strange as it was, we felt it was just like something cool to talk about. And yeah, thank you so much for watching.
And if you guys want to leave some comments, and we're kind of curious on you guys' opinions.
Do you believe Hogwarts Legacy should have been there?
Do you think Starfield should be there? Who do you think's going to win the categories? Definitely leave them in the comments below, because I want to check them out personally. So, yeah. Anything else?
This one kind of stings. No.
Yeah, it is what it is. So.
Bye, you guys.
Later.